Okay, I'm back finally. Sorry this one is so late. I was working all weekend and I didn't get back until Sunday night, and I was kind of wiped out, so I couldn't really make the video until now. Before I get to Impact, I just want to add a little quick addendum to my last video. I said that I still try to watch WWE Raw, but that I don't watch SmackDown or ECW anymore. And a couple people asked me in my comments why that was, and they said that SmackDown and ECW are actually much better shows than Raw. And maybe they are. I don't know. But the reason for this is pretty simple. For many years now, the WWE has drilled into their audience over and over and over again that Raw is the A show. Okay, Raw is the flagship, their most important show. Now, I'm not going to go into all the ways that they've impressed this upon us, or I'll be here all day, but the bottom line is, in terms of importance, SmackDown is just not on the same level as Raw, and ECW is even lower than SmackDown. Okay, so Raw is the big show. That's what the whole product revolves around. Raw is the flagship, the show where they're supposed to put their best foot forward. So if Raw completely sucks, then why the hell should I watch SmackDown? Why the hell should I watch ECW? Okay, Raw is supposed to be the best that they have. The show that represents the WWE product as a whole. And if that show is so horrible that I can barely sit through it, then I see no reason to watch SmackDown. I see no reason to watch ECW. I mean, hell, one of my all-time favorite stars in pro wrestling is Edge. He's on SmackDown, and I don't watch it because Raw has gotten so bad that it's completely killed my interest in the other brands. I mean, why should I watch the ancillary shows if the flagship show is crap? Anyway, that's my reason for that. Anyway, on to Impact. For me, this edition of Impact highlighted a lot of the good things about the TNA product, but also one of the biggest problems that TNA has right now. And that problem is one that I've talked about ad nauseum over the last several months. The presentation issue. Understanding how to present a match or an angle or a storyline to maximize its effectiveness is something that this creative team constantly struggles with. The main event this week was Sting versus Kurt Angle. That's a Bound for Glory main event rematch. That's a match that once upon a time you promoted as the biggest match in Impact history. Your words, not mine. And how do you promote this match? You give it a hype video at the start of the show, and that's it. Okay, Angle and Sting never even really addressed this match at all. And why? Because they were more concerned with Samoa Joe. Angle did an interview where he wanted to talk about Joe and didn't seem to care about the match with Sting. And I think the only time we even saw Sting prior to the match was when he was checking on Steiner and Booker T after Joe kicked their asses. Now, on the one hand, I am thrilled to death that TNA are really behind this Samoa Joe push. They're booking him like a killing machine right now, and that is fantastic. But, having said that, you need to keep your eye on the ball and remember what's really important. And promoting your TV main events properly is very, very important. If you want to book a rematch from the main event of Bound for Glory on Impact, you can't have both guys be so concerned with something else that they can't even be bothered to talk about the match. And this problem came about, in my opinion, because the TNA writers like to have all these multiple storylines going on at the same time that get interwoven and overlap each other. I mean, that's a really tricky thing to pull off effectively in serialized storytelling. And if you're not very careful, those storylines can all get muddled together, which is when you get stuff like this, unfortunately. Okay, there's also another presentation issue that I have a problem with right now. Apparently, in honor of Slammiversary, TNA wanted to bring back some past stars from the early days of TNA, so they brought back Raven and Shane Douglas. Now, I do like what they're doing with Raven right now. I think he's being used very well. But, Shane Douglas, dude, get off my TV. Go make friends with a treadmill, because that second chance you were looking for, it's hidden under your folds of fat. Look, TNA wanted to bring back Shane Douglas. So be it. What I don't understand is why they didn't change their plans when they saw the physical condition this guy was in. I mean, he obviously has not kept himself in shape. He looks like he gasses out walking up a flight of stairs. But you bring him in anyway. You put him in a match with AJ Styles where he looks horrible and gets jobbed out in 5 minutes. You also have the announcers actually say that he hasn't wrestled in 3 years and couldn't be expected to beat someone like AJ. And now we're supposed to pay money to see him wrestle Christopher Daniels at Slammiversary, where the stipulation of the match basically spells out that he already has absolutely no chance of winning? Okay, we're supposed to care about this match. Why exactly? TNA, you need to use your heads about stuff like that. Seriously. Now, something that I did like about this show, in fact, something that I've been liking about Impact a lot, is that many of the veterans have really been taking a back seat lately. I mean, for months and months, we were hearing people saying that there are plans to incorporate more of the young guys into this main event Mafia storyline and start pushing them to the next level. And it never seemed to happen for some reason. Well, now it's finally happening. Okay, AJ Styles had a feud with Booker T and he won. Booker put him over like 3 pay-per-views in a row. The main event Mafia guys have been jobbing their asses off for Samoa Joe for weeks now. I mean, Joe destroyed Scott Steiner, beat the hell out of Sting, went over on Nash twice, and this week he beat Steiner and Booker T in a handicap match. Okay, Team 3D jobbed for Alex Shelley and Jay Lethal, and they're probably going to job for Beer Money at Slammiversary, and Beer Money have already gotten a huge rub from those guys already. I mean, the veterans are proving that they're willing to put over the young talent. For many months, it didn't seem like that was the case at all, but now it's finally happening, and that's great. I'll admit, TNA was definitely pretty frustrating for a couple of months there, but they're headed in the right direction now with building up their young stars. And unlike WWE, it didn't take 3 or 4 of their top guys being written off television for that to happen. So we don't have to worry about some veteran who shall remain nameless making a not-so-surprising return to television and beating the crap out of the top young heel faction in the company all by himself. Seriously, what the hell was that? I mean, that was like the 4th time they Ortoned Randy Orton in the last 3 months. I mean, it's almost like they want him to fail. It's like, whoa, sorry, Randy, you're getting too over. You could be a threat to Triple H's spot now, so we're going to have to cut you off. Unbelievable. Also, this week we had the in-ring debut of Victoria, a.k.a. Tara. She had a match with Madison Rayne. It was pretty decent. I mean, I wasn't jumping up and down for it or anything, but considering she hasn't wrestled in 5 months, she did pretty well. I wasn't really wowed by her this week. I mean, I would like to see her pick up the pace a little bit. This only being her first match in TNA, she's probably still in that slow-paced wrestling WWE mentality. Hopefully, she will be able to shake that off by Slammiversary. I expect her and Angelina will have a pretty good match, and I'm also eager to see what she can do with Kong and Taylor. But still, I just really wish it were Sarah Stock in this spot. You may have read that report that her debut was being delayed because the spot they were going to put her in was given to Tara instead. Really don't agree with that at all. I think that's a big mistake. Sarah Stock could be a big breakout star, a breakout homegrown star for TNA, and instead they gave her spot to the ex-WWE talent who, at 38 years old, has got to have a fairly limited shelf life at this point. I mean, not that Tara isn't a great wrestler, but I think that Sarah Stock would have been the better choice for the top knockout babyface position. And yes, there is a column coming about this topic. I just finished writing it last night, in fact, so watch out for that. And that's about it for Impact this week. We got a lot more wrestling than usual on this show, which I definitely appreciated. I wish they'd done more to follow up on the Eric Young situation. It seemed like Jeff Jarrett just forgot about that this week, but Eric Young's not on the card for the pay-per-view, at least not yet. So maybe they're going to wait to... They're not going to get moving on that storyline until next month, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure what the whole card is going to be for Slammiversary just yet, but the 2 King of the Mountain matches are enough to get me to order this pay-per-view. I've had some requests to do a Q&A video. I've never actually done one of those before, so it might be cool to try that out. If I get some good questions, then I may do one at some point. So if you've got anything you'd like to ask me, just message me and I'll think it over. Anyway, I gotta go. So I'll talk to you guys next week. I should be a little more punctual with the next video. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.